This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Okay, Tally, this is it.
Oh yeah, here we go. Are you ready for patch 10.0.7? 11.0.7. The Forbidden Siren Isle.
I totally am, Tally. What should we do first?
The first thing we always do, Evie. Loot. Let's go get our onyx, Cyrces, and new Circlet. Yeah. And then we can fill it with cool primordial singing stones. Citrines for cool elemental power?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I love new content, which I've never ever done before, ever. Oh, maybe later we can get some elemental overflow. To trade for cosmetics and toys. I can't wait. I'm just going to mount up on my griffin and jump off this cliff to take off and be on my way.
Oh, wow. Have you unlocked flying already?
What do you mean, unlocked? Ah!
I guess not. What the...
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and welcome to another episode of the weekly reset, Taliesin and Evertel's Wondrous Wisdom Show. In a week where patch 11.0.7 Siren Isle is here. The second content patch of the War Within, which, let's be honest, is actually kind of the first content patch of the War Within, because I can't be the only one who thinks that the anniversary patch, 11.0.5, very nice, didn't really feel like a War Within update, you know? But this one definitely does, advancing the story, laying the groundwork for next major patch, Undermined, and giving us a brand new zone and borrowed power MacGuffin to boot, with all new events and loot and collectibles, all of which we will be covering in depth in this, our dedicated 11.0.7 guide. So join us as we tell you why it really is like totally different from the Forbidden Reach. So different though, okay? Go, 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 go.
Getting started. Our journey to Siren Isle, just Siren Isle, kicks off on December 17th, 18th for EU. Pick up The Expedition Awaits from Dawn here in Dornegal to begin your journey. Completing the intro quest chain will introduce you to the Isle, the new hub with its mole machine, travel link to Gundergaz, and set you on your way, investigating the mystery that grips this old cool Tyran Azurite mining facility and starting all the fun things there are to do on the island, which we'll get to in just a moment. But of course, these opening quests will also award you with a new ring, Circe's Circlet. And I want to get this out of the way right at the start, okay? Because I know you just heard me say the ring is called Circe's Circlet, and I know you all expect me to make lots of Game of Thrones jokes for the rest of the episode, and no, that's cringe. We're not cringe. Ask anyone. Ask your mum. So anyway, Circe's Circlet is a powerful ring, which I'm assuming goes on your little finger? No, it appears on a different one, but look, it appears on a finger. A ring item actually appearing on your character's finger in-game. We truly live in the future. From a player power point of view, the main purpose of your adventures in Siren Isle is to level and empower this ring through upgrades and gems that you get from questing in the zone. So let's look at the Circlet before anything else.
Circe's Circlet. Circe's Circlet starts at 619 and can be upgraded to 639, which is full-on mythic level for Season 1. Much like that Forbidden Reach ring, you'll have 3 gem slots to socket, a pink, yellow, and a blue one, or wind, thunder, and sea, and only gems of a corresponding type can be placed in a socket, so you can't have 3 storm gems all equipped at the same time. For example, it has to be one of each, and there are only 4 of each type to collect too. But in stark contrast to Dragonflight's version, there is no Zascara vaults to bother with, enjoy, in order to collect all of those gems. They are instead gathered from island quests, events, invasion events, and can be swapped around as needed. So far, there doesn't seem to be the option of buying a second ring for an easy alternative swap loadout like you could with the amulet, which is a bit annoying actually. And another important difference from the Forbidden Reach, whereas most of these gems do have effects that proc, just like the Forbidden Reach version. For example, the Mariner's Hallowed Citrine, which has a chance to activate a heal that jumps between 3 allies, or the Squall Sailor's Citrine, which does the exact same thing but with damage, jumping to 3 enemies, etc. There are also gems which boost your secondary stats, a sign, perhaps, of lessons learned from the Onyx Amulet, where a big criticism was that some classes, especially ranged DPS, just didn't benefit enough from the ring because it didn't have secondary stats on it, which they really relied on, so yay? Although I would still be surprised if this thing ends up particularly well balanced, but still. And I am sorry to report that in all of these gems, there is no big real area of effect spell. Okay.
Circe's Circlet begins life at level 619, and to upgrade it all the way to 639, you'll need to complete a series of quests, all of which will award a raw singing citrine to boost the ring's level, and which will appear 1 per week over 6 weeks. Just to be clear, on the PTR at least, it takes 6 weeks of questing to max out the ring, and that means 6 weeks to unlock flying on the Isle too. Oh yeah, by the way, there's no flying on Siren Isle when we get there, and it takes 6 weeks to unlock. The achievement to unlock it being attached to the max level on your ring. More on that later? If you miss a week, it's no problem. Obviously, you can catch up to the current maximum at any time. And that's essentially it for Circe's Circlet. Blizz have said that, just like the Onyx Amulet, it is intended to be a BIS ring for just about everyone, and will undoubtedly work as a soft nerf on all Season 1 content. Groups all toting this ring may be able to progress further on Mythic Plus or Raid, and that's good. That's cool. Kind of off topic, but also kind of on the topic of Mythic Plus, Blizz announced this week that starting this patch, Crest drop rates are being buffed significantly, and the number you need for crafting is being greatly reduced, which is obviously wonderful, but also, this isn't one of those making things easier at the end of a season changes. It is a permanent alteration to Crests, which will carry through to the beginning of Season 2. Happy days for Mythic Plussers, which might even make you forget you're running Workshop again for the 3rd season. The Circlet is obviously a big borrowed powered system, which is still kind of a dirty word in WoW discourse, and fair enough. But there's a difference between an expansion spanning central borrowed powered track like artifacts or Azurite armor, and one that is meant as a fun little gimmick in a 0.7 patch at the non-competitive tail end of a season. I don't love the 6-week progression, mind you. I think the time gating in this case is unnecessary and kind of a shame.
Also, I just want to say something really quick here, okay? It's just a little thing, but it really is bothering me. Circe's Circlet is obviously a ring on your finger, but that's not what a circlet is. A circlet is a thing. It's specifically a hat. It goes on your head. It's head size, which means that whoever Circe is, that this used to belong to, this isn't her ring. It is her headgear. Circe is a tiny queen. Please be careful not to step on her as you traverse the island doing all the fun things that we're going to talk about right now. Hashtag don't squash Circe.
Siren Isle. Siren Isle is packed with rares and treasures and genuinely cool little puzzles, which you'll need to complete for your weekly quests for ring upgrades and cosmetic currencies. The baddies on the Isle rotate every week between Vrykul, Naga, and Pirates, and there are 3 mini-bosses on the island which are summoned via donations to the 3 main factions. The goblins with familiar faces like Skagit and Ricket, the Arathi who seem remarkably unfazed by suddenly not being underground for the first time in 16 years, and the Earthen, including the very on-the-nosely named Dawn, last seen in the Leveling Awakening Machine cinematic. There's a storm event that you can activate whenever you like, and which is basically a fill the bar, kill baddies, protect the camp thing, but which you unlock different goblin weapons to help with. And you may have seen these weapons demoed on the Siren Isle launch stream and thought, oh, okay, they look fine. I did, but actually, they are pretty fun. I'm a big fan of the goblin weapons. The Storm event, though, isn't just limited to the hub area. It puts the entire island into a new phase, with different enemies, rares, and puzzles to its non-stormy version. So it's basically 2 islands in one. Raining and not raining, kind of like Britain. If we ever had not raining. There are also fun ways to traverse the island since, no flying. Like a goblin rocket pack, a grappling hook, a motorized surfboard, and pretty early on you unlock water breathing and super fast swim walking, which means it's actually quicker to travel around underwater than on land, which is good because actually there's loads of treasures under the water surrounding the isle. So it's actually like 3 islands in one. Are these zany ways to get around more fun than flying? Hey, did I mention there's like a surfboard and stuff? Obviously, you're gonna want to unlock flying. I will say that the island is very compact. Like, this was originally built to be an island expedition map for PFA, so don't forget, it is quick to get around at any time, and flying really does trivialize it. I think it'll be fine for this mini patch, honestly. 6 weeks still feels like a long time, but yeah. As for the accusations that it's basically the exact same patch as 10.0.7, the Forbidden Reach and Dragonflight, well, there's no denying that it follows the same format and the general shape, and it's totally reasonable that people make that connection. But I think Siren Isle feels enough like its own thing to stand on its own as a patch. And if there is going to be an established template these 0.07 patches follow, it's actually pretty awesome in my opinion. If that template is a whole ass new zone to muck around in for 2 months before the next major patch, like, that's okay with me. Hey guys, it's me, it's your girl, it's your lady, it's your mum. I am all of those things and more. But most of all, I am delighted to be working with Squarespace, who are sponsoring today's video. Now look, I don't think I'm the only one who's had a purple moment recently. You know, a bit of naifu waifu, void mommy vibes here and there. And while there will always be a purple tinge to things in my world, I'm here to tell you that purple is out and green is in. Goblin season is upon us. I'm talking sickly, viridescent goblin greenness all up in here. And up in my website. Thankfully, Squarespace makes it easy peasy goblin greasy to change up the whole look and feel of my site. First things first, content is king, so let's change up our featured video using the handy YouTube embedding widget. I don't even have to make a new element or whatever. I literally just have to copy and paste a new URL and kaboom, it's Goblin City. Next up, you know I love a sweeping, instantaneous change. And as for Squarespace, you can't go wrong with site styles. It comes with built-in color themes your entire website will reflect, which is nice, but nothing's quite green enough. Thankfully, I can customize my own palette, and here you can see I've gone for some beautiful shades of puce, acid, asparagus, and radioactive sludge. Stunning babes. And I know nothing makes the goblin guys and gals feel more at home than a big, juicy red button. Squarespace actually has loads of built-in buttons already, but I wanted to go extra big with this one. Just create a new section, upload an image from my library, and voila! There she is, ready for pressing. And there you have it, utterly goblinified, Goblin Girl approved. And I know all you little goblins out there can't resist saving a bit of gold, so I am happy to share that you can enjoy 10% off your first purchase of a Squarespace website or domain. Just head to squarespace.com/taliesinevitale. Or feel free to use code taliesinevitale if that's how you like to do it. That's squarespace.com/taliesinevitale. Keep it real.
All of those island activities will drop a brand new currency, Flame Blessed Iron, and can be used to purchase incredible rewards such as level 584 catch-up gear. Oh, wow. All of your alt gearing problems solved at last, fam, with that 584 catch-up gear. Merry Christmas. You'll also be able to stock up on transmogs, toys, and pets from each of the 3 faction vendors. So easy, Soul So Easy will sell you beachy goblin loot. The summer transmog sets a lounge chair, a pink water gun, and most notably, So Easy's vintage wave shredder, a recolor of the Ninja Turtles flying surfboard seen on the trading post a few months back, and which obviously should be called So Easy's vintage water shredder because it fits the cadence better. Amateur.
Alenda the Arathi Quartermaster will sell you some nice recolors of the Arathi sets. The Sacred Wayfarer's attire in all gold, and the Adventurer Lamplighter's attire in black and red. She also offers a few other Arathi helms and shoulders, and some fun profession-themed offhands and weapons. And third, the mysterious Hooded Purveyor will give you the earthen treatment with the Awakened Ambassador's uniform, some really nice tabards and backpacks, a golden chalice for when you're feeling fancy, and the redeployment module, a Titan Portal themed Hearthstone toy. But that's not all. Tal Jori the Tortolin is also there with loads of seafaring goodies. They offer recolors of the Vrykul sets we've seen on the trading post, but also pirate hats, Vrykul weapons, and some nice Naga flavored weapons round out the selection. But there's some other more special rewards too, in the form of mounts. Most notable among them is the Eyes of the Siren mount. This nifty crackling stormcrow was first data mined back in Siege of Ogrimmar, so we've been waiting for this bad boy for longer than this channel has existed. In fact, longer than Tally and I have even known each other. You can find Thrayir's body in the Forgotten Vaults. Collect 5 various rune keys from the Isle, each in 5 fragments, to activate the 5 pillars surrounding his body in the vault during the storm phase, and only the storm phase, to revive your feathery friend and win his trust as a mount. That one is my favorite. There's also a 10-day long quest chain to collect the Prismatic Snapdragon mount, if you're so inclined, and if you want to go for the island's meta achievement, you can get yourself the Breaker's Song, a Siren Isle flavored rework of the Dreadwake, this ship featuring a saucy siren lady as the figurehead, as opposed to the absolutely metal skull octopus guy, mining and navigation tools instead of piles of plunder, and not a single loose coin in sight, presumably because all that gold has been funneled into your future Plunderstorm winnings. Oh, Plunderstorm is coming back in this patch too, and Turbulent Timeways, but we want to keep this guide 2024 only for now.
Story, as well as the mystery of the Siren Isle, which honestly is pretty good fun in my opinion. There are also 2 more significant plot beats that play out in 11.0.7, one involving an epilogue of sorts for Dalaran and a prologue for 11.1, which actually features, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, Orwena and the Harronir. This is not a drill, people. The Harronir are here. I repeat, the Harronir finally have something to do in this game. Neither of these quest lines are especially long, and I'm not even going to sit here and tell you that they will both be available when the patch launches, because let's be honest, it would not be out of character for Blizzard to wait for a couple of weeks before popping these, but that Harronir 11.1 quest definitely also has a cinematic in it too, and you know I love me a new cinematic. Merry Christmas! Another cool feature of 11.0.7 is that the Arathi pointy ear customizations will be available for human and Kultiran human characters to choose. No unlock, it's just going to be there, meaning that human-shaped half-elves are now officially a cosmetic option in the popular video game World of Warcraft. What a world, eh? I feel like you have to file these customizations under those that are there purely for your own headcanon type thing. Like, they aren't playable Arathi, but they're not playable Arathi, you know? Personally, my own headcanon, I like the idea that we, even the humans, just met the Arathi all of like 4 months ago, and already we've just bred, you know? We've just gone at it. Cross-pollination is already rolling along. And there's loads more in this patch too. There's the activation of the BFA meta achievement with its frankly incredible Janny mount reward. It's like the Sandstone Drake, as in you turn into Janny and you're holding your weapons, and it's just great. But there's also a War Within 11.0 meta achievement, of which the Siren Isle meta is a part, and which will award the Shadow of a Doubt Void Elemental mount, which I'm only really bringing up here because the flavor text reads, "Were Xal'atath's schemes truly thwarted, or have we just played deeper into her hands?" Which, you know, what with this and our Nerubian buddies at the end of the raid being like, "Wow, I wonder if we really won or if we just played into Xal'atath's hands," and Xal'atath laughing at you every time you time a mythic key and basically saying, "Lol, you just played straight into my hands." I'm gonna say that, no, her schemes probably aren't truly thwarted, and yes, I think we probably have just played deeper into her hands. I think that's probably quite likely, yes. There's cross-faction dungeon queuing, new Winter Veil stuff, which we aren't going to go into now, sorry, and racial ability updates. And if you want to know more about these or anything that we talked about in this episode, then as always, there will be links to relevant Wowhead articles and guides in the description below for you to peruse at your leisure. This is the last weekly reset of the year, but not the last Taliesin and Evertel video. We have at least one, maybe two, due for publishing while we're away for the holidays before we come back on New Year's Day to, well, play some more WoW, probably. But thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank us, thank our patrons who give their actual real-life money to make all of our work happen. And seriously, patrons, thank you, because for another year without you, there would be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evertel. There's a new Q&A on the Patreon for you, just for you. Go and watch it if you like. If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it, and remember, my name is Dawn. No, my name is Taliesin from me and Evertel. Until next time, cheerio.